Hello, hello. Here we are on YouTube Live, usually on Twitch, but today I am shaping it up and I am streaming on YouTube instead. I want to see what this looks like in terms of kind of views that I get or don't get. Let's see what happens. Maybe YouTube's a better platform. Maybe it's a more ideal platform for this, but who knows? Let's give it a try. So I hope everyone is doing well. Let's see what's going on here. This is completely new to me, so I'm just kind of looking at the YouTube dashboard and thinking, what's going on? Okay, stream health. Okay, stream's healthy. Stream status, excellent, I agree. Excellent connection. It's DVR, I don't know what that is. Add a delay, don't need that. Excuse me, and closed captions. Okay, all right. I did that title. I got that wrong, didn't I? Stupid fingers. All right, there we go. Hey, capture the moment. Excuse me. This video contains. Oh, it does not contain paid promotion. No live chat. Replay, what does that mean, eh? Interesting. Alright. Okay, well, the YouTube Live is definitely much simpler than Twitch, but maybe that's probably a good thing. Alright, well, where are we at the moment? So I did a video recently. I did not a video, sorry. I did a newsletter recently. Let me go and dig that up. And we'll have a little look at it. So this was for February 14th. Let's have a look at the email that I sent. Now I don't know how I'm gonna. I need to be able to log into the bloody thingy, don't I? Not inside Podia in here, am I? Or my Gmail or anything. Interesting. What's over here? Cloudcoach.tv. Didn't even realize I had that. Okay. Let's go over Hacker News. I'll come back to the. I'll take a break and we'll come back to the newsletter. So as usual, we want to talk Hacker News. We want to look at DevOps and we want to look at what's happening in the industry. Let me just make sure I've got Discord open over here actually, just so I can chat to people. I do tend to respond to chat on Twitch or in this case YouTube now, but I do prefer it if you pop over to the Discord. It does make it easier. Makes it a lot easier, in fact, because I don't have to change keyboards between screens. So let me just load up Discord. Excuse me. Comes the magic bottle again. Alrighty. Here we go. Alright, so what we got? This Google cuts jobs at cloud computing group. That doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good at all. It's the Wall Street Journal, so I'm expecting a paywall. Yeah, let's go around that. Come on. Someone must have a link. Whee! Ew! Okay. Google said it's cutting jobs as cloud computing units as part of a reorganization aimed at improving operations at the business that has become more central to parent Alphabet Inc. And Google shares are up 0.4%. Very nice. Okay. I don't think this is anything to be worried about. I can't see Google Cloud going down anytime soon. I don't think that's anything we really need to be worried about, to be honest. Okay. Apple Edge Cache. Oh yeah, this is their kind of like CDN delivery network for people with high amounts of traffic. I think you've got to have quite a lot. It's by invitation for one. Request an invitation network. Minimum of 25 gigabits peak traffic across all Apple traffic. Are they the requirements? Oh my god. Right, okay, so is it designed for people to connect their CDN to? That's a bit confusing, I don't understand. Host equipment managed by Apple. Connect to the Apple Edge cache via 100 gigabit Ethernet or multiple 10 gig connections. Interesting, okay. Let's see if anyone can shed any light on what exactly this is. Fairly steep. Perhaps we'll come down to Edge cache programs. Interesting. So is it about peering with their networks? It's interesting. The small home business. That kind of networking's a little out of my jurisdiction, I think. Let's see if there's anything else going on. How bureaucratic pushed. Okay. Interesting. That's hilarious. What? Got it. Cyberpunk. I do love a bit of Cyberpunk. Oh, which is GURPS Cyberpunk. Let's have a look at this. Actually, I love Cyberpunk. Is this a text adventure? Genre toolkit for Cyberpunk themed role-playing game set in the near future. I wonder if anyone's done a game from it. That's so cool. I might actually buy that. That's really cool. Ha! Alright. Getting distracted. Signal is finally bringing secure messaging to the masses. Awesome. 18-year website. This is pretty cool. So, website's been run for 18 years, built in front page, and still gets updated. It is very much 18 years old, and it definitely was made in front page without a doubt. I mean, just look at that. That's insane. Look at those GIFs. Damn. All right. Where are we? Become a good C programmer. Okay. Alright, let's have a look. There's nothing here. What's this? We don't need that. Well, we don't need that. CloudOps, right? Pay other people to do our database for us. Okay. Crystal Lang. Okay, there isn't much appearing right now. I might have to get that that thingy list sorted, won't I? Firefox single file. Let me install this plugin, and then I'll download it, and hopefully I can just transfer it across. Got it. Okay, where are we? Okay, should have done this before. I do apologize. See what we get here. So there it is, our newsletter. I wonder if I can just copy that into the VM. I'm not sure I can actually. Not sure it supports that. Let's see if I can enable that, eh? Let's see if I can get that going in the VM. Alrighty, let's go to settings, user interface. And I need this at the top. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Import keyboard and mouse. Shared clipboard. Drag and drop. Host to guest. Yeah, let's do host to guest. See what we get here. Let's get rid of that ugly UI at the top there. It's never good. Disrupts the resolution a little bit. Right, can I drag that in now? Damn. See what happens if I just open it. Yay! Hello, first name, other. Alright, okay, so what did I push out this time around? So yeah, Terraform Cloud now has Cloud Run triggers. So this is for linking together workspaces, right? So let's have a look. What is a run trigger? Terraform Cloud Run triggers provide a simple, programmable way to link spaces together. This lets you automate runs across workspaces, allowing a new level of flexibility when defining and managing your infrastructure. So workspaces give you this opportunity to create one code base, but then with that one code base you can create different states from that one code base. I prefer the option of having one code base and feeding in values dynamically, including where the S3 bucket is for the state, and then getting Terraform to just run with that dynamic pointer over here. So you could use workspaces for that. I prefer to just feed in a dynamic value because I have more control over that, and it's simpler. However, what this lets you do is trigger multiple workspace builds effectively. You can chain them together by the looks of it. Let's have a look. Enable cross-team collaboration. Think of the way a database and web team might work together when changing infrastructure, where a central security team needs to make changes across many resource types. Okay. Breaking down your Terraform Cloud workspaces to be smaller, more reusable components of a larger application. That one's a good one. I like that one. The other two, I don't quite get actually. I'm not quite sure I understand them, but that's okay. How can I build my own run triggers? And then obviously it's going to go to detail here. That's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty good feature. It's definitely worth noting. This one's a great one. So Packer 1.5 now ships with support for HCL2, HashiCorp Configuration Language 2, which is what you use in Terraform. And that means that you can actually write HCL to configure your Packer files now, which is awesome. I've not used it yet. I've not got a chance to use it. I need to upgrade to 1.5. But I think that's a really cool feature. I can definitely see that becoming very popular. I can see it being much easier as well. Writing out JSON files, it wasn't the best, if I'm being honest. It wasn't really the best option. It worked, I guess, but it wasn't ideal. This is going to be much nicer, without a doubt. Link everything together, and you can see there you've got a reference actually. So build, and then sources, and then you can create... Interesting, yeah. So it even improves on things a little bit as well. Awesome. Amazing. It's a beta feature. That's okay. That's not a problem. Okay. Okay, yes, there. That's. Oh, okay. Oh, it's what working, not working. Okay. Currently specific and sorry, you build specific and user variables. See below are not working for Packer with HCL2. We know that HCL2 will be of limited use until variables installation works, so expect this support to follow. Ah, okay. I hadn't realized that actually. All right. Very good. So this is obviously the JSON. Well, I think there's a lot there that can really actually improve our ability to write Packer build templates quickly and easily. I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait for that to be kind of general availability. That's going to be great. GitLab are running this 2020 DevSecOps survey. So check this out. So I've not taken the survey myself, but it does look interesting. Software development, DevOps, your role in your organization, and how your journey is progressing. At GitLab, we see signs of major changes in every area of the development process. Some of these changes are happening due to technology advances, while others are the natural result of maturing DevOps practice. Excellent. We have not only renamed our server this year, but more accurately reflect the entire software development cycle. Okay, cool. Well, maybe I should take it. I'm not going to take it now. I'm going to do it. Oh, well, okay. No, I won't take it now. Best describe your organizations. Okay. There's quite a few questions there. Maybe I'll come back to that. And CoreOS container Linux is now end of life. We're now looking at Fedora CoreOS is now the official one, and that is effectively, it's a new Fedora version, effectively, for building containerized environments. So it's specifically designed for running containers, which is interesting, because we're entering this. It's an interesting route to take because we're entering this world of Kubernetes, right, where we just put Kubernetes on everything, and then we just containerize our applications and push them to Kubernetes. So it's interesting that there's an operating system dedicated to just running Docker when everyone's kind of taking this Kubernetes route, but I guess we'll see. Interesting. It's got an AWS image and GCP as well. Very good. All right, what did I find within the community this fortnight? So we got Mailgun is reducing its free tier email capacity from 10,000 emails per month to 625. That's quite a lot. That's quite a jump. That's quite a jump indeed. I guess it makes sense though, really. I mean, 10,000 emails a month is quite a lot to give away for free, and running an email network like that, it's almost an email delivery network, is an EDN. Is pretty tough. That's a pretty hard thing to do. That can't be easy. So I can understand why they're doing that, and then there's probably anti-spam reasons as well why they've done that. So I actually can appreciate why they've done that. But that's more of just a general notice for anyone out there using Mailgun in their perhaps within your pipelines for notifications or anything like that. Well, now you know. Sovereign. Okay, this is cool. This is I've seen this many years ago, but this is pretty cool. It's a massive set of Ansible roles for standing up private personal cloud. So it effectively is just lots of playbooks, lots of roles. For all kinds of stuff, own cloud, mail servers, etc. And it's really good because you can come in here and you can either use it to set up your own personal cloud, or you can come in and you can use it to learn Ansible, how certain things are actually executed, how things are actually done in a sort of professional grade role or set of roles. And so it's very good for that. So I suggest you check that out. Monoliths are the future. This is a big one. So there's a lot coming out at the moment with regards to microservices taking over the world, in the sense that people are just kind of like going crazy over microservices, and they're automatically pushing for microservices straight off the bat, when actually you should really be developing a monolith first. You should absolutely be developing a monolith first. So my advice is to build a monolith. How many times can I say monolith? How many times can I say monolith really fast? Monolith. I need some water. My advice is that you build a monolith first, because you need to understand the market, whether your product is going to work, whether it's going to even do the job you expect it to do. And you're not going to know that until you release something. And microservices are much harder to implement, build, make work, orchestrate, deliver, and then manage than just simply building a monolith and just getting it on a box, giving it a public IP, putting some DNS in front of it, and getting it in front of a handful of people. But people seem to want to do it, and so now we've got these articles. I've actually linked to two here. Monoliths are the future, which is from I think it's from a podcast. Yeah, it's from this Kelsey Hightower podcast. It's not his podcast, it's Go Time, which obviously talks about Golang, and he's talking about how everyone's just, Kubernetes microservices jumping on top of it. But with Monoliths, you just basically get it out there straight away. And then you've got this as well. This is a Medium article that I spotted on Hacker News that I decided to throw into the mix as well. So if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, please head on over to the cloud.coach. Go to courses. I'll put a link there actually straight to the that live link needs to be updated now because I'm now on YouTube Live, not Twitch. But I'll put a link in here. But if you come down here, this is stay in the loop. Okay, pop your email in there, or if you've signed up to one of these courses, you'll be on the mailing list. But if you want to stay in the loop, as it says, then fill in your email here, and you'll start getting this fortnightly newsletter, where I kind of digest a lot of these articles, compress them into a nice little list for you, and then every 2 weeks you just get a curated list of kind of DevOps, CloudOps specific kind of articles that relate to kind of architecture and application and content delivery. So hopefully useful. But that's microservices. Just like Sovereign, I should probably put these together really, but just like Sovereign, we've got this DevOps as well, and it's the same concept. DevOps is essentially a large set of Ansible roles, actually hosted on Galaxy, not GitHub, or rather this is a link to Galaxy, and these are for managing Debian-based systems. And so there's roles for everything. I think it's in content, I believe. Yeah. So we've got one for NTP, PKI, authentication, net-based keyring, SSHD, PAM access, Ansible plugins, secret management, users, Python. There's quite a few in here, very, very much DevOps specific. Now, I like this. I don't think that a role, or rather, I have no issues with a role supporting 3 or 4 different operating systems or Linux flavors. I don't have an issue with that. However, I like that they've made these very Debian specific. They're very well maintained, very high quality, and they're very much Debian specific. And I'd like to see CentOS specific and RHEL specific playbooks as well, and roles. But if you're not running Debian, then they may not be of any use to you, except unless you're actually going through my course at the moment, my Ansible course. And what you can actually do is you can pop in to one of these roles. Why can't I click on that? Oh, okay. You go to the repo. Come on. Oh, that's the docs. No, let's go to the repo. Sorry. And then in here, if you come into the roles, oh, what's going on here? Have they changed this again? They've changed this again. What's under here? Oh my god. Maybe I'm misremembering. If you come in, sorry about that. If you come in and look at the specific roles that you're interested in, again, you can learn from these, right? So there's Docker server. Let's pop in here. We can look to see how it's all been laid out. They've got handlers, they've got metadata, they've got tasks, default. So we're just going to pop into tasks, just one YAML file. Let's just see what's happening. Make sure that docker.service.d override directory exists, and so on and so forth. And we can get an example of how they're doing things. So here, they're doing quite a complex bit of logic here. Docker.io, if Docker server upstream, default, else Docker server upstream, package name, plus docker-engine if Docker server, okay, and then flattening that, okay, so they're building a list of packages to run, and then they're flattening it into a list to feed it to the app, okay, I guess, and then there's just basically lots of little tricks that you learn, like don't install recommended packages here, false. That's really cool. So these looking at other people's code is a good way of learning, and these are examples of roles that will definitely help you learn Ansible quicker. So I recommend going over to the DevOps repository and checking out that code. This was another good article, scaling to 100,000 users. So obviously, as the name implies, this is about one user, just use one machine. 10 users, split out the database layer. So it's talking about how going from just having one user through to 100,000 users, you should start to scale up as the users increase. And so just stick everything on a single box when you've only got one user using it. That makes perfect sense. It's a good idea. And then 10 users is split out the database layer. Now, I believe that you should use a managed database layer wherever you can. I know it's a little bit more expensive and a little bit more money up front, but it basically takes away a lot of the work and a lot of the things that you have to worry about, and makes it so that you don't have to worry about them. So that's good. So I recommend you just split this out straight away anyway, but I can appreciate why, to keep it cheap and simple, you just put them on one box as well in the beginning. And then when you get to 100 users, you start splitting out the clients. So you start creating an API, you got your website, you got your mobile app, etc. And that's when you're still using a single box here though, right? And then once you're getting up to the 1,000 user mark, you start adding in a load balancer. Again, I'd probably put a load balancer here as well, because at the end of the day, if this goes down, it goes down. And annoying 100 users, in my opinion, is equally as bad as annoying 1,000 users. Like, just don't annoy users, just don't have downtime. Doesn't look professional, especially given how cheap it is today to just run two boxes, right? So yeah, but it's a good article anyway, because it's talking about how as you progress through, you start splitting out, and so 10,000 users, throw a CDN in front of it so that you can start caching those static layers and caching as much of your information as you can, and then of course 100,000 users when you start scaling the data layers. This is when you start adding in caching, so you start adding in memcache or Redis, and so on and so forth, and read replicas and so on and so forth. That's good. It's a good article. I think you should read it. I think it's a very, very good way of dealing with high scalability, slowly but surely, just getting there. The good old nightmare, the DevOps cautionary tale. So this is an old one from 2014. But it's very interesting in that it shows how DevOps practices weren't being used at this investment company, and they lost $400 million worth of assets, liquid cash, in 45 minutes because of a failed deployment. Effectively, the deployment, my understanding is that if it failed in that it updated some servers with a new version of the software, and I think one of the servers maintained an old copy of the code. There we go. The update smarts was intended to replace old unused code referred to as PowerPeg function used in 8 years. The code was updated. So it went wrong. 8 servers in all, and some of the servers started buying stock that they weren't meant to buy. Yikes. And so yeah, so Killer Code Zombies, 45 minutes of hell. Oh, it's a good read. I'm gonna read it to you. Give it a read. That's really, really worth your time. You can learn a lot from that. So dynamic Route 53 records for AWS autoscaling groups with Terraform. So this is a great Terraform example. It's about using Unicase autoscaling group instance names. And I think it was a great article because it's a unique take on something that you may or may not require, but it's a bit of a quirky way of using autoscaling groups. I'm going to be blogging shortly myself about something similar using autoscaling groups, but I mainly posted because it's got Terraform in it, and I want you guys to be reading Terraform code as much as you can in order to learn how other people are doing. Like initial life cycle hooks are something that not many people use. I mean, I hardly ever use these things, so it's good to see them in use and good to see them in the wild. And so it's good to get out there and start reading this code to understand how people are using Terraform in creative ways. So make sure you give that a read as well. And then I thought that this was a very, very interesting article. I've been looking for this for a long time because I remember reading about it, but I could never find it. And this talks about how Amazon found that that's a messy website, I'm coming off that. For every 100 milliseconds of latency, it costs them at 1% of sales. So that's definitely shows that how latency and reducing it is very important. It's a very serious matter that you should pay attention to. And just do what you can to reduce that latency. Simple as that, really. No one likes to lose sales because things are running slow. Okay, and that is my little 30-minute update of the newsletter there, with a little bit of faffing at the beginning, which I apologize about. Look, head on over to thecloud.coach, sign up for the newsletter, check out some of the free courses. I've got a VIP offering if you want to see some of these, if you want to have a chat with me privately, like my VIPs do, and join the VIP program. Otherwise, sign up to the newsletter. You get this nice newsletter every 2 weeks. It's all this news and all this information about some of the core CloudOps technologies, all condensed into a nice little newsletter that you just give a quick glance over. And if nothing takes your fancy, don't worry about it. But you may learn something new, hopefully. All right, well, that is me. I'm going to jump off. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.